Early season trades where you're able to capitalize on getting elite players that wouldn't normally be available can just outright win you your fantasy hockey league point blank. This is the entire purpose of this video. It is incredibly early in the season. We're not even 2 weeks in and we already have a trade video for you guys because there's just going to be some players that won't ever be available beyond this point given their slow starts. This is very important. If you see a player on this video, chances are you want to hold on him because we are targeting some really good high value players early on. And like I said, can just outright win your fantasy hockey leagues if you complete some of these trades and get great value. That being said, there are 6 players on this list that you should absolutely trade for right now in week 2. Let's get into it. Starting off is one that's pretty unrealistic, I'd say, off the start, but you have to try. You think of McDavid last year where he was struggling right out of the gate. It was the first time since pretty much he's been drafted that any point in the fantasy hockey season where people were considering trading him. Very similar situation to Austin Matthews right now. They do play tonight against LA, and if Matthews doesn't go off tonight, people might panic with him. So you have to try and at least make an effort to trade for this guy because if you get this guy on your team for a decent value, you might just outright win your fantasy hockey league right then and there. This is one of the best players in fantasy hockey. There is a reason why he's a top 3 pick every single year. He's just the best goal scorer currently in the National Hockey League. This might be the only time he is ever available in the season because he doesn't have a point through 3 games. Some people are speculating that now that Craig Berube is the coach, Matthews has taken a completely different role, whether it's with the captaincy or with the new coaching system. But whatever the case is, he's tied for 9th for expected goals in the National Hockey League. The Leafs are also 0% on the power play to start the year. So the power play is going to change. They're going to eventually figure it out. But in terms of Matthews, I'm not worried at all, especially the fact that he has such an incredible shot volume along with the fact that he chips in the blocks and hits category as well. Guys, just try your best to put something together that makes sense for you, that doesn't completely cripple your team to go and trade for this guy if he doesn't go off against the Kings. If he does, chances are managers are going to hold on to him, but you got to try while you still can. Carter Verhaeghe, he's center and left wing eligible. That gives you really good flexibility in your lineup. He's a consistent 70-point player with around 30 to 40 goals and 250 shots. His shot per 60 is down 2.2 from last season. I'm not too worried about that. Barkov's out week to week, so that doesn't really help Verhaeghe's production, but it could help you essentially acquire him during this time. He's line 1, power play 1. He's playing over 19 minutes. I'm not at all remotely worried about Verhaeghe. He's going to get back on track offensively. He's chipping in the hits and blocks category, as well as having a very good shot volume. Again, you want a 35 goal scorer that could potentially hit 40 goals with 70 points. Very consistent player, very easily targetable due to the fact that he's had a completely miserable start. Be sure you guys send some trade offers to him and you should be able to get some good value. Moving on, we have 2 defensemen. First one is Rasmus Dahlin. Very similar situation to everybody else on this list. He's an elite player that we were super high on to start the season that had a really slow start. He's got 1 point in his last 4 games. I think he's absolutely worth sending offers to right now. The rough start for the Sabres is going to do nothing but benefit you in trade negotiations. They are trying to figure it out offensively. Tage Thompson hasn't been great either, but Dahlin is continuing to absolutely eat minutes. 23-22 average time on ice so far this season through 4 games. There's multiple times where he's hit, over 23 minutes and 25 even. He's pair 1, power play 1, and will continue to be as long as he's healthy. The points are going to start to come. The Sabres are going to figure it out. JJ Peterka's back tonight. I'm not saying that entirely changes the outlook of Dahlin's point totals going forward, but having him on the power play as a shot threat definitely helps the Sabres. And again, guys like Tage Thompson, guys like Jack Quinn, even somebody like Dylan Cousins are all really good buy low options right now if you guys are in some deeper leagues or if you want to try and go get a guy like Tage Thompson. But again, the Sabres' rough start really helps you try and trade for a guy like this. Dahlin is going to be an absolute stud this year. We're still super high on him, even though the slow start in Buffalo. And until anything major changes, I would highly recommend trying to acquire this guy. Dougie Hamilton, another great example. This one worries me a little bit more than the others. There is a little bit of hesitation on my end, I think, with Dougie. I think if he continues to struggle and Luke Hughes does end up coming back, there's a chance they just don't, go to him on the power play 1 anymore. He is also 31 years old with an extensive injury history, so just be forewarned a little bit. But we love Dougie because of the shot volume that he has. The peripherals are just added bonus, but he's one of the best shot volume defensemen in the league, aside from Roman Josi. He's still, shots per 60 are still on pace at 8.6. He's still pair 1, power play 1 as of right now. He's playing a ton of minutes, 23-15 average time on ice. The points are going to start to come around. Like, New Jersey's just so strong offensively that the points will start to continue. He's first in total shot attempts amongst defensemen with 41. This is why we love Dougie, is because of the shot volume, and this is why we're looking to target him in trades as a buy low opportunity. Up next, we have Stuart Skinner of the Edmonton Oilers. I've seen this movie before, guys. It happened last year. They had a really tough start out of the gate. They were able to flip the switch and just became one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. I'm confident that they are going to be able to do it again, especially given their underlying advanced analytics. They are first in Corsi, which is shot attempt percentage, second in Fenwick, which is unblocked shot attempt percentage at 5-on-5, and they have the third worst PDO in the entire National Hockey League, which is shooting percentage amongst your team and save percentage combined at 5-on-5. Skinner is incredibly inconsistent as a goaltender. There are some times where he lets in 4 goals. There's sometimes where he shuts teams out, but he's not this bad, guys. The Oilers are just struggling overall as a team. They made a lot of offseason changes that need to kind of take some time to mesh into the lineup fully and determine roles. So I'm confident they will turn it around because on paper they look like an incredibly good team. They just need some time to kind of mesh it all together and make it work. Skinner is a great buy low opportunity for those of you that are looking for a high volume, high winning goalie, and I'm convinced the Oilers are going to be able to turn this around. I'm not worried at all. I'm looking to target Skinner in pretty much any league that I need a goaltender in. Up next is Darcy Kuemper of the LA Kings. Guys, he had one bad game, okay? Everybody just take a deep breath. It's a clear outlier game, a 7-8 game. These things happen every once in a while. 4 of the 8 goals against were on the power play, and one was obviously the overtime winner at 3-on-3. He should be a lot cheaper to acquire than a guy like Stuart Skinner, especially, given the fact that he's not on necessarily an elite winning team, but he will continue to get a ton of volume and starts. He is listed as day-to-day currently with a lower body injury. It doesn't sound serious at all. I'm not worried about it even remotely. I'm still looking to acquire this guy in every league that I need a goalie in, very similar to Stuart Skinner. If you went with a 0G goalie strategy, Kuemper is a great trade option for you right now as a buy low. The Kings are one of the best defensive teams in the league last year, and up until this one game against Ottawa have shown that they will continue to be very good defensively. This is without Drew Doughty in the lineup, so don't forget that. Like I said, Ottawa was an outlier game. He's been great up until that point, 970, 923. Just fantastic. He's going to get a ton of volume going forward. We've been high on him all season because of this. We know LA is a good defensive team. Just send some offers if you guys went with the 0G goalie strategy and see what you can get for Kuemper. That will do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we want to capitalize on the opportunity that some of these elite players won't ever be available up until this point because of their slow start. So take advantage of this. Try and send some offers out that don't necessarily cripple your entire team, because you don't want to give up too much depth for these guys, but these guys are worth trying to trade for and will, like I said with Matthews, outright just win your fantasy hockey league if you're able to acquire them. It's absolutely ridiculous that some of these guys are even available right now. So definitely capitalize on that. Let me know in the comments down below who is a buy low player that you're looking at. I looked at other guys like Miro Heiskanen's a good example for defensemen. I mentioned some of the Buffalo guys like Tage Thompson could be an option if the Sabres continue to have a slow start. But again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed and hit that subscribe button. We have a ton more fantasy hockey content coming your way. I will see you in the next video. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of the day.